This Business Newsmakers is brought to you by Rondout Savings Bank. Banking your way every day.
Hi everyone, Frank DeRaffele here. Welcome to this week's Business Newsmakers, and we're here with Amy Stillwaggon, who is the CEO of Newburgh Envelope, a business that's been around for 4 generations here in the Hudson Valley, over 120 years. And Amy, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Frank, for having me.
So that's a long time for a business to exist. So tell us a little about that history. So it started by your great-grandfather?
It was. He started the business. He was foil stamping chocolate boxes, kind of think Whitman's sampler of today. Right, down in Flushing, and then after a period of time, he moved the business up here. He actually put all of his equipment and everything from Flushing. He put it all on the Nightline ferry on the Hudson River and moved it up to Newburgh that way. That was pretty cool. And now he operated out of a little carriage house on North Plank Road in Newburgh, and that's where we are today. So
you start out with foil stamping of chocolate boxes.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just the whole chocolate thing is getting me all excited. Just to let you know. Okay. And then, so how has it changed over the years? And do you guys still do that? Do you go into, what did you get into after that?
No, after that, my grandfather, while he ran the business, got into envelopes and envelope production, and then my dad joined the business, and he really expanded the business into envelopes and flat sheet letterheads and business cards and things like that. And then about 10 years ago, I joined the company, and we expanded into some digital printing, and so that's been pretty cool. Each of us has added our own little flavor to the business over the last 4 generations.
So there's got to be, though, a little bit of a I want to know how you ended up getting involved, because you have kind of great-grandfather, grandfather, father, right? So men running the business. Now you're getting involved, and I'm just imagining when you grew up, you weren't thinking like, I'm going to go into the printing envelope business. How did you decide to get into that, and what kind of turned you on about it?
So growing up in the family business, there was no sick days from school or daycare or anything like that. There was no, during the summer, you were at the shop working with daddy, you know? So I kind of grew up in the business, and so when I got old enough to work, and for like my first job, I did not want to go into the envelope business. That was not where I wanted to be. I had spent enough time there.
I would imagine.
So I went to go work for the local receiver of taxes, and she hired me, and I worked there for about 10 years. After that, I went into real estate, and I worked there for 4 or 5 years, and the market kind of took a downturn, and I was like, oh, this is my exit. Yeah, I'm done with this. But during that period of time, I fell in love with sales while I was at the real estate business. And I loved working for myself. I loved selling things. And at that point, I didn't care what I was selling. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to work for myself when I did it. So I went to go work for my dad and my grandfather, and I loved it. My title was sales manager, and I sold stuff. And it didn't matter what I sold or who I sold to. I loved it. And it was perfect. So that was how I kind of got into the business. I kind of kicking and screaming the whole way into the family business. I really didn't want to ride on the coattails of success of my grandfather and my father, because when I was younger, that's how I saw it. I saw it as coming into and being entitled into something. But it's a lot of hard work. Working for yourself and owning your own business is a lot of hard work. And now that Dad and Grandpa are retired, I am, kind of a solopreneur. I'm out there and I'm doing it, but I wouldn't change it. I would live the struggle of an entrepreneur every day for the rest of my life. I love it.
So you came up through the sales aspect of the business, but now obviously you're in the executive management. You're kind of still doing sales, but you're doing production, you're doing creativity. So from where the business, your grandfather and father retired out of the business, now you're chief bottle wash decision maker, doing everything. So in terms of what you're doing, where's the business now? What do you see? How do you want to change it in the next year? Do you want to continue what it's doing? Do you see new ideas coming in? Like, what do you see for the business?
What I've kept from the sales aspect of the business is I listen to my customers. And if you listen to them, they will tell you exactly what they want. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because you probably know this quote, but I think Richard Branson said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, you say yes and then figure it out later, right? Mm-hmm. So I recently had a customer, she asked me, she says, Amy, do you make those big feather flags that we see everywhere? And they're like 18 feet tall and they're full color. And do you do that? I said, yep, I do that. And then, so I made her one and put it on Facebook, and I sold 2 more right away. And I was like, yep, okay, new product, right? Just by listening to my customers. Yes. And I think that's what a big advantage is because alternatively, if you're not using a local printer, if you're not using someone right around the corner who knows what they're doing, you're going online. And online, it's harder to listen to and have that dialogue with your customer. So
let's talk about that for a second, because what you do is obviously you're really doing is helping companies market themselves, right, one way or the other. So give me some advice, I guess, from you to our small business owners that are watching. If you kind of had to say maybe the 3 most important things for them to look at in terms of marketing using your type of medium, what would you recommend to them as the most important things to be looking at or to be focused on?
Well, I would say, first off, they need to be working with someone who values their business as much as they do. So when you're working with a local printer, you're handing over your logo, you're handing over copy, you're handing over sometimes some copywritten materials from corporate or a franchisor or something like that. And you have to know that that's safe with that person and that they value what that's going to look like on the finished product as well. Okay. So you want to make sure that your logo is going to reproduce well, and if it's not, that they're going to come back to you and say, I need a better file or something like that.
So they're going to respect and take care of your property. Yes. Okay, good.
And then 2, they also need to have the same priorities that you do. If your priority is budget, then they need to be providing a product that fits within your budget and not overextending your budget or trying to push you or upsell you, right? If your priority is time, because a lot of people, sometimes they, again, are presented with a great opportunity, but the time frame for that opportunity is very short. So they need something quick turnaround. So if priority is time, then you need to make that time, not just say, well, our standard turnaround time is 10 days, sorry, right? So budget, time, or what the finished product looks like. I have a lot of clients now who want to use recycled, FSC certified products and things like that. They want to go green. So if that's a priority for them, then I need to source those materials so that their finished product is within the confines of that recycled FSC certified designation.
No, those are great points. I think as a small business owner, I think printing is very important to them. I mean, there's a lot of people doing a lot of digital things today, but using everything from if it's a flyer to a flag to a banner to whatever else it is, working and being within budget and having the right design for them is important. So those are great points that you make. So if people want to contact you, what's the best way for that to happen? So is there a phone number? Is there a website? What would you recommend?
You can reach out 845-566-4211 by phone. Very responsive to Facebook. So if you go to our Facebook page, Newberg Envelope, then you can message me right through there, and we're very responsive through there as well. Or you can email me, newbergenvelope@gmail.com.
All right, very good. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you got to say, I really respect and appreciate the fact that you guys have been around for 120 years here in the Hudson Valley, and that you're carrying on the tradition. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Hey everybody, Frank DeRaffele here. Again, go to see Amy Stillwaggon, find Newberg Envelope on their Facebook page, look them up on the web. Come in here next week for our next local business owner, and have a great week.